What's up? Welcome to another episode, Keys to the Game. Pittsburgh Steelers taking that undefeated show on the road to Jacksonville, where they will take on the 1-8 Jacksonville Jaguars, who are led by 7th-year head coach Doug Marrone. And this week, man, we got 5 keys as always, but the first one, the most important one, is Vince Williams and Robert Spillane versus James Robinson. They have to stop him. Right now, James has been doing a really good job, especially as an undrafted free agent. I think he's 5th in the league in rushing yards. He's been very productive this season, but Robert and Vince have to find a way to make him one-dimensional, minimize his impact, and make this Jaguars offense, one-dimensional, and then it'll be a recipe for success, because from there, you'll be able to take advantage of the young quarterback and his inexperience. But it starts with those two guys right there. Vince and Robert Spillane, man, handle business versus James Robinson. Now, the second key that we got to talk about are these wide receivers that the Jaguars have. DJ Chark and Keelan Cole Sr. Those two guys have been productive this season. In fact, Keelan is doing a career year for him in terms of yards that he's accumulated compared to his previous seasons. But look for Steven Nelson and Joe Hayden to match up extremely well with those guys. Steven and Joe have been doing great this year. They've generated turnovers and ultimately have stood up in big-time games. This is a matchup that they should win. And if they can do that, man, it'll be a great day for the Steelers on defense. Now, this third matchup that we got to talk about, Keelan Cole Sr. Yes, I just talked about him as a receiver, but I have to talk about him in the return game as well. Just last week, he had a punt return for a touchdown, really flipped the game in terms of them versus the Packers and got them back into it. But look for our special teams unit, in particular our punt team, minimizing Keelan's role. We saw last week Ola Daney force a big-time fumble, ultimately created that turnover on special teams and gave the offense the spark that it needed. Look for that to continue. The Steelers punt unit minimizing Keelan Cole Sr. in the return game. Now, this fourth one I'm extremely excited about because it involves the AFC reigning player of the week. Yes, indeed. I'm talking about Ben Roethlisberger, the gunslinger, going up against the rookie cornerback, CJ Henderson. Now, listen, CJ has a ton of pedigree, and he's been playing well. But at the same time, he does have some inconsistency associated with his game, and that's expected when you're talking about a rookie corner. Look for Ben Roethlisberger to continue using his playmaking ability, his vet savvy, to ultimately take advantage of CJ and that Jaguars secondary. Ben is on a tear right now, and this is going to be another notch in his MVP campaign. So I'm excited about it, baby. Let's get it. Number 7. And my 5th and final matchup starts up front, baby. And we're talking about Bud and TJ Watt versus Cam Robinson and Jawan Taylor. Those two tackles for the Jaguars, they're pretty good. They're not the best in the world. They're not world beaters, but they're decent tackles, and they do have a history against TJ and Bud. But we've already seen the way TJ and Bud have been playing this year. The sacks that they've accumulated, the big-time plays that they've given us. Look for that to continue, especially once the Steelers defense takes James Robinson out of the game and make that offense one-dimensional. Look for Bud and TJ to really get after that young quarterback, all right? So those are my keys for this week. I cannot wait for this game, baby. Time to get to 10-0. And appreciate you for tuning in. So until next time, peace.
Brought to you by DRAFTKINGS Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook, and that not only is it safe, but it's secure, and more importantly, it is reliable. And for all my first-time users out there, if you use the promo code Moats, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus. Now, I don't know about you, but I love deposit bonus. That means if I enter in my money early on, DraftKings is going to give me free money to go along with my money to bet. Who wants that? I mean, how can you turn that down, baby? So what are you waiting on? Make sure you go download the app, use the promo code MOATS, and let's have an opportunity to get that money, because that's all we need is the opportunity.